Hi guys, this is Ashank David, and in today's video we are going to talk about NumPy indexing and selection. So let us talk about what is NumPy indexing and selection. Before even we start this video, I would like to request you people to please like, share and subscribe to our channel Code is Arcade, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you won't miss any future updates. So without any further ado, let's get right into the topic. So as you remember guys, in the last video, we talked about NumPy, where I have talked to you what is NumPy, what do we do with NumPy. We discussed about so many NumPy arrays and array functions. We learned about so many things, so many functions from NumPy in the previous lecture. But in this lecture, we are going to talk about what is NumPy indexing and selection. Here, indexing and selection meaning the arrays that you have been created from that NumPy tutorial. Now we will apply indexing onto it and we will see how we can select the elements and we can get the data out of those arrays. Okay, so let us quickly start with that. So I'm going to start by first importing import NumPy as np, as you already know about this guys. So I said import numpy as np, then I will create an array. So how to create an array? To create an array, if you remember from our previous lecture, to create an array we used arange function, right? So I would say arr equals to np dot arrange, and there you go. I'm gonna create one array. So I'm gonna say 0 to 11. Why 11? Because here 11 will be non-inclusive, so it will go from 0 to 10. Then I'll execute this line and I'm gonna just print that array. So you can see that now we have this array, right? Okay. So now if I want to say that how I am going to select a element out of it, then how will I do that? If you remember how indexing is done, if I say here arr of in the square brackets, if I would say that I want to access index number 8, so I would have given index number 8, right? If I run this, you can see in the output it says 8, because on index 8, 8 is the number which was present on index 8. So we already know that index starts from 0 and it goes still on till n minus 1. So in this case, it is 8 on 8th index. Let us show you if something happens, if something changes into it. So if I run this, now it became from 1 to 10, right? So now if I run this, it would print 9. Why? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on 8th index, element 9 is present. So it printed 9. I hope you understood this very well. Okay, so I'm gonna just go back to 0 and then I'm gonna print like that. Okay, so I hope you have understood this, right? So how an array elements can be accessed by using this square brackets, just how you do it in Python using indexes. Okay, next, let's say if I want to get a chunk of the particular element, let's say I want to access from 1 to 4, then what will I do? If you remember Python basics, we had talked about slicing. If you remember Python slicing, from Python slicing concept only, we can do the same thing. I would have given like arr of in the square brackets, I could have given the slicing notation. To do that, I would have given the full colon, and before the full colon, I would have given 1. And here, because it is always n minus 1, the number is non-exclusive, so I'll give 5. So it will start from 1 and it will go till 4. So this meaning from first index to fifth index. I hope you have understood this very well, guys. Here, this is our 0th index, this is our first index, and this is our fifth index. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will go from index number 1 to fifth index. I hope this is very clear to you guys, right? That is why it should print 1 to 4. So if I execute this now, you can see it printed 1 to 4 inside the array. So this is how you would create an array using NumPy arrange, and from if you pass only one single digit, it would access that particular index and it would print that. Otherwise, you can use a slicing notation also in order to get the chunk out of that particular array that you have created. In this case, we have done 1 is to 5. This is how it is going to be done. Let's see some other examples. So if I say ARR of 0 colon 5, then it would print numbers from 0 to 4. So if I run this, you can see it printed from 0 till 4. I hope this is very clear. Now, you should also know that if I don't give any index before colon, it means that take from the starting. Say for example, here I passed index 6, but I did not pass anything before this colon. So if I run this code, it should print from 0 to 5 because 6 is always non-inclusive, right? So you can see it printed 0 to 5. Right? Simple slicing, guys. What we used to do in Python, simple slicing concept is applied here also in NumPy arrays. Then if we do the opposite thing, that means if I say ARR of, this time I will pass the first index, that means the starting index, and then I don't give the last index. So from the fifth index, it will print from 5 to the last. Wherever the last element is, it is going to print till there. So if I run this, you can see that it printed from 5 to the last index of the array, which is 10. I hope this is very clear, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask us in the comment section below. So see, this is how we used to just simply select NumPy elements from NumPy arrays using slicing notation, which is given to us in Python. So same slicing notation can be used for selecting the elements or to get the elements, okay, through indexing. Now, next concept we are going to learn about, and that is broadcasting. What do you mean by broadcasting? If I say broadcasting, okay, I'll give this. Okay, what is broadcasting? So I'll show you. For example, we have this array, right? Array of 0 to 10, correct? I'll take this array only, and in this case, I will say I want the numbers from the 0th index till the 5th index. Okay. So according to you, what should it print? From 0 to 4, right? Now, if I say equals to, and then if I say 100, so you know what will happen? This 100 will replace all the elements from 0 to 4 and those elements will be edited. And other elements in the array will remain the same. For example, if I print it, you can see I will just now print it ARR, and you can see all the elements of this particular slice got changed with 100. This is what you call as broadcasting. Okay. So 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. And from 0 to 5th index, it changed. And from 5 to 10, it is printing the same. So the other part of the array is not edited, but the slice that we took got edited. So this is what you call as broadcasting. I hope this is clear, guys. Okay, so now let us take some more examples and I'll show you some examples. If I say ARR equals to, I'm going to create a new array. I said np.arange, and here I created from 0 to 11, I said. Okay, and then I said ARR. So we got this array, right? Okay, now what I can do is I can create another variable. Let's say I said slice of array ARR. If I say slice of ARR equals to, I have taken this slice of ARR as a variable, and inside that I can take a slice of that particular array. For example, I need the elements from 0 to 6th index. So what will happen? From 0 to 5, the elements will be stored inside slice of array. So if I print this, what will happen? It will print is from 0 to 5. As you understood, we took a slice from this array and then we stored it inside the slice of array variable. This is just a variable. Then as soon as I printed this variable, it printed the whole slice. Correct? Now, next, I can also say this. I can also say this, and I can just pass single colon in this, and what will happen? It is going to take everything from this particular array. Okay, because here we have saved the whole slice into this particular slice of ARR, right? That means if I just print this, what will happen? It is going to print the same thing, correct? Now, what I will do is I will change the I will broadcast this slice of array into some particular number. So I said slice of array, and then inside this I passed this single colon, and I said equals to, let's say this time I took 99. Okay, so basically I'm doing broadcasting of this particular slice of ARR. Okay, so it should change all the elements from 0 to 5 to 99, right? So let us do that, and if I print this, if I print this, see, all the elements got broadcasted, correct? Now you see here one thing. Okay, now I am gonna print the original array, this ARR, okay, which is from 0 to 10. Now you see what happens. If I just print ARR, you can see that originally the changes have been made. What does this means? See, let us try to understand it again from the beginning. I created an array. So from here, from this line, I took an array. I said np.arrange 0 to 11. So it created this array from elements from 0 to 10, right? Then I took the slice of ARR variable and I picked the slice from this particular array from this number 0 to 5. Okay. Then I printed that slice, so it printed from 0 to 5. Correct? This is very clear. Then what did I do is I broadcasted that slice of ARR and I changed it into 99. So all the elements which got stored from from that array into this slice of ARR got broadcasted to 99. But you see that when I print this ARR, now it is not printing me 0 to 10. It is printing 99 5 times, and then other elements are getting printed. What does this means, guys? In this particular example, you can see that I took the slice of ARR as another variable in which I stored the particular slice of this particular array. But when I changed that variable, when I broadcasted that particular separated slice of ARR, the original array also got changed. Why this happens? This means the data is not copied to another variable, that is this slice of ARR, but it is edited back to the original array. You're getting my point. Basically, we had this master array, and from this master array, we took one slice and then we changed the slice, but the changes were copied back to the original place. So this was not data that got changed. The reference only got changed in this case. Why NumPy does this? The reason NumPy does that is to avoid memory issues with very large arrays. So you have to understand this. You have to be very careful with this, guys. If you actually want to copy the array instead of just editing in the same array, you can use the dot copy function, which I'm gonna show you just now after this. Okay, so see that. If I create arr underscore copy as a new array, okay, and if I say equals to arr is the original array, this one, 99, 99, 99, this one, and if I say dot copy, okay, copy is a function, so it will have this parenthesis, and if I say, now what will happen, a copy of this array is being created separately into this arr.copy. So if I want to just edit this arr copy variable, it would not change into the original arr.copy function. You understood my point, what I'm trying to say. In this case, if I print arr, you can see the arr is this, right? But when I print arr underscore copy, it's the same array, right? But in this case, what will I do is I will change arr underscore copy. And if I say equals to, I want to do broadcasting, right? So I'll take the whole array and I will say equals to, and I changed it into, 100. So you see the whole arr copy array should get changed, correct? So now if I print arr underscore copy, and if I print, everything inside this array got changed into 100. But if I just print arr, still it is the old one. Original array is the same. I hope this is understood now. If you broadcast a particular slice of an array, that would edit it back to the original array. But when you use array.copy function, instead of editing the whole original array, this will copy the array into another variable, and then if you change into that particular variable, it would not reflect in the original array. So if you want to copy the array, then this can be done like this. I hope this is very much clear, guys. Okay. So these are some of the vector indexing and selection methods into your NumPy. This is how your NumPy works when it comes to vector. Now let us move ahead and let us see some indexing and selection of 2D array. What do you understand by 2D array? In the previous class, in the previous lecture, we learned about 2D arrays, or in this case, in NumPy, in data science, we call them as matrices, right? So in this case, I would do the same thing, import NumPy as NP, okay? And I'll create a 2D array. And if you remember how to create a 2D array, we used to say a variable. In this case, I would take arr of 2D equals to, this is just a name, okay? Arr of 2D equals to np dot, I will say array in this case, and inside this I will pass what? List of lists. In this case, let me create 3 lists inside this particular list. So let's say I am creating this as 5 comma 10 comma 15. In this case, I'm saying 20 comma 25 comma 30. Okay, and in this case I said 35 comma 40 comma 45. Okay, so I created this matrix, and inside this matrix, see, if I print this arr underscore 2d, it should print this whole matrix, right? So this is how you used to create a multi-dimensional matrix or 2D array. Okay, okay, fine. If I want to do indexing, that means if I want to, indexing and selection means if I want to select some particular number, say suppose I want to get this 10 from this array, that is 2D array. In the previous example, when it was a single array, single dimension array, we used to just pass one single number, that was the index, and it would have given me like this, right? But in this case, when it is a two-dimensional array, how would you do it? Let's say I want to grab this 10 number, okay, from this particular 2D array. What will I do that? There are two ways to do this, guys. I will write it here in the markdown. I will say there are two ways to select element from 2D array. And what are those? Let me just show you. I would say first one is double bracket format, and the second one is comma single bracket format. Okay, so there are two ways. Okay, let me just, okay, so there are two ways to select an element from a 2D array. First, double bracket format, and then the single bracket format. How do you do that? Let us see the double bracket format first. In this case, I would say if I want to select, let's say, number 10 from this particular multi-dimensional array. Okay, so I will say arr of 2D, and in the two brackets I'll create. Okay, one bracket will be for the index for row, and one bracket would be for the index of column. So let's say I want 10, right? So in this case, what will I do? I will say I want, this is row number 0, row number 1, row number 2. So 0th row, first row, second row. I want to select the 0th row. So in the first bracket, I will pass 0. And then after this, I want to select second column, right? Which is going to be 0th column, first column, and then the second column according to the indexes, because indexes always starts from 0, right? So if I want to select 10, I would here say 1. So 0 and 1. If I say 0 and 1, it would select 0th row and first column. In this case, 0 and 1 will be the coordinates of 10. So if I run this, you can see it picked us 10. This is how you select a particular element from a multidimensional array, in this case matrix. Okay, let's say if you want to select in this case 45, what you will do? This is 0th row, first row, second row. So I will say 2 here, and then I want the 0, 1, 2 second. So if I say 2 and 2, it would give me 45. I hope this is very much clear, guys. Everyone, you can pause the video here and you can select any of the other numbers if you want to. Select this way, it will be a good practice for you guys. All right. One more last element we'll do. Let's say I want to select 35, or let us say I want to select 35 only. So I will say 0th row, first row, second row. So I will say 2 here, and then I would say first column, 0th column. So I will say 0. And if I run this, it would select me 35, right? So this is how you use double bracket format. This is double bracket format, where you give 2 brackets and you pass indexes 1 by 1. I hope this is very clear, guys. Okay. So now this, I'm going to just put a comment here. This is double bracket format. Okay. Now let us see comma single bracket format. What is this? You know, the same thing. If I want to say select, say suppose 35, if I want to select, you already know the coordinates, right? 2 and 4, 0. So what will I do? I will write arr underscore 2d, and inside the one bracket only I'll pass 2 comma 0. This is called as single bracket comma format, or you can say comma single bracket format, where instead of using two different brackets, I'm using one single bracket only, and in between I'm using this comma to separate the two indexes or the coordinates in this case. Same thing will happen, guys. Here also it would print 35 itself. Okay, now if I want to select, let's say 30, in this case, this is 0th row, first row. So I will say 1 here. Instead of saying 2, I will say 1 here. And I would say 1, 2, 0, 1, and second column. So I will say comma 2, and it would print 30 for me. This is what you call as comma single bracket format in this case, guys. I hope this is very much clear to you guys also. Okay. So this is how you do both double bracket format and comma single bracket format, and you can select any of the numbers you want to select or pick from a two-dimensional array. This is how you do it using indexes, or you can say coordinates in this case. All right, guys. Now, after this is how you would select single elements. Now, what if, just like how we were grabbing the chunks or the slices of the particular array, here, let's say I was picking up 1 to 5. What if I want to pick this particular array? For example, I want to select this and this. Let's say I want to grab 10, 15, and 25, 30 as a sub-matrix of this particular main matrix. Okay. Let's say this is the two-dimensional matrix, and I just want to grab only this particular sub-matrix, 10, 15, and 25, 30. How will I do that? So I'm gonna just say that I'm just gonna mark down this code, and I'm gonna say here grabbing sub matrices from a matrix. Okay, so we had this array, right? Arr underscore 2d, right? This was the array, and now in this case I want to, let's say I want to grab the sub array 10, 15, and 25, 30. How will I do that? I will say arr underscore 2d, and in this case I will say indexes. First index I will say, first I'll put comma in this in between. Okay, now on the left hand side of this comma I will say the index for rows, and on the right hand side I will say the index for, or the slice for, columns. Say suppose I want from 0 to 2 index. So I will say everything up to row second. Everything up to row second. So this will select 5, 10, 15 and 20, 25 and 30. This row will be selected. This whole matrix will be selected. Okay. And then separated by the comma, I would say I want to select this column, right? Starting from this, right? And up to the end. Correct? So I will say 1 because this is first column, right? This is 0th column. This is first column, right? So I will say first column till the end, till the last column. Correct? So now if I print this, it would give me 10, 15, 25, 30. I hope this is very clear, guys. You can actually recheck it. You can just say ARR underscore 2D, and here you can just say slicing of just 2. It would take the whole upper part of that array, and then when you I'll just copy the same thing here. And when you separate it by comma, just like how you used to do for, comma single bracket format, when you used to do it for single one, here also you are doing the same. But in this case, you are saying column. So you are slicing up the column from which column to which column you want. I wanted only this part then, only 10, 15 and 25 and 30, right? And this was 0th column, this was first column, this was the second column. So I want to say that start from first column and go till the last column. So I would have said 1 and then just the colon. And if I run this, it would take out the chunk of this particular array, submatrix in this case. I hope this is very much clear, guys. I know it is highly confusing, but don't worry. I will give you my NumPy notebook which I will write all the explanation part correctly, and you will see each and everything nicely written over there. I'll give you the link of that notebook also in the description below, guys, so don't worry about this. Try to understand this. Okay, now I will give you one more example. I will say suppose I want to take out the chunk for this 20, 25, 35 and 40. Okay, so how will I do that? Just see here. I will say here first ARR of ARR underscore 2D, and I'll say of, I'll separate it with a comma here, and before this comma I need to give the row, and after comma I need to give the column here, right? So in the row I will give the index of that row, the slice. I will say this is 0th row, this is first row, this is second row, right? I want to start from this row, right? So I will say 1 is to, I will say go till 3, because 3 will be non-inclusive. So it will take first row and second row. So before this comma, I will say 1 is to 3. 1 colon 3 will take up these two rows. And then after this comma, I will say I want to take this 2 and this 2, right? So this is basically I'm taking the first column and the second column, right? So this is the 0th column, this is the first column, and this is the second column. So I will say from 0th column to 2 column. So 2 column will be non-inclusive, so it will go till 1. So I will just say, instead of just giving 0, I can just say colon 2, right? And if I print this, you can see we got this chunk. I know this is confusing, guys, but I am gonna give you my notebook also, so don't worry about that. Just try to practice. Now just pause the video and try to take out one chunk. Let's say you want to take out this particular chunk, 5, 10 and 20, 25. What you will do? Pause the video for 1 minute and try this. Extract 5, 10 and 20, 25 and then see what happens. Alright guys, so let's move on. And the last thing that I would like to tell you about this is the main thing of this particular lecture is I want to tell you about conditional selection. So let me just mark down it. I will say conditional selection. Okay. Conditional selection. What is this conditional selection? Say suppose if I have an array, arr equals to, I'll say np dot arrange, and I said I want the elements from 1 to 10. So for that I'll say 1 comma 11, right? And I will just try to print this array. It is from 1 to 10, correct? Anybody has any doubts into this? So after this, what I'm gonna do is in conditional selection, let's say I created a array called as bool underscore arr, and I said equals to arr is greater than 5. So see what I'm trying to say. In this case, I took the array, and after that I create another array, boolean array, and I equals to said arr, this arr is greater than 5. I passed a condition into this particular variable. And if I run this, what will happen if I print this bool arr? So I will try to print it, and you see that what it took, it changed the whole array into a boolean array. And because I was passing a condition, right? This is what you call as conditional selection, where I just passed this condition and then I just took that into this particular array, and that condition was having this array also. So if I say array greater than 5, so it automatically it will change that into that boolean type of array, and it will print all the elements which are false, which is not true, as false from that particular index to that particular index. In this case, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is non-inclusive, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are false, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are true. I hope this is very clear. Guys, this is how your conditional formatting works. But now if I say arr of, I said bool array, okay, what it will print? It will print only the true parts. You're getting my point, what I'm trying to say. I passed arr, and then inside the arr, I passed bool arr. So what will happen? Basically, I am just taking out all the elements which are true. So this is how you can actually select only the true variables using this condition. I hope this is very much clear or not to you guys. It's very simple. Now, instead of just doing so many steps, you created an array, then you created a condition written inside that another array, and then you printed that array, and then you are doing this. You can do the same job in one single line. How? You can pass arr, and inside this, I can just say arr greater than 5. Actually, arr was this, right? From 1 to 10, right? Still it is 1 to 10 only, right? Let us see. I'll just print arr. It is only 1 to 10 till now. And if I say arr of, I'll say arr is greater than 5. You can do the same job into one single line like this. So what it will do, this is what you call as conditional selecting, where you pass array, inside that you pass the condition. So automatically this array is taken out, and a new array you will get inside it. I hope this is very much clear. Now, if you save this array into some, new ARR, and if you try to print new ARR, it would be this array. I hope this is really understood by all of you guys. Okay. Now, same thing, I can actually do more examples of this. I can say ARR of, let's say ARR of less than 3. So it would take only these two numbers. I can say ARR of, I said ARR is greater than 10. If I say this, then it says the array is empty, doesn't have any data type, data number, any element which is greater than 10. In this case, if I say ARR of uh, ARR greater than 6, so it will print 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. You can do this is what you call as conditional selecting in NumPy arrays. Okay. I hope this is very much clear, guys. Okay. So these are some of the other examples. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys about 1D and 2D indexing and selection of arrays. And in this case, we learned about indexing and selection of both vectors and matrices. Let us quickly go through that and revise once again, guys. So I imported NumPy. I took the array. I created the array from the arange function, and then I took it from the slice in the indexing part, and I have understood that here I can access the element like this. Okay. Then I did the same thing as a slicing part. The same slicing can be done and this can be happen. Then broadcasting, in broadcasting what will happen when you took a slice and you said equals to that particular number, now all the numbers will get changed into that particular slice. Okay, but in this case you have to be very careful. When you took another variable and you put that particular slice in there and you printed that, you broadcasted that slice, it will change the numbers into that particular slice, but also it will reflect back into the original array. So if you want to copy the array into some other array, you use dot copy function and you just take another variable and inside that you just put arr dot copy, that will get copied to another variable, and then you change it into that particular copied array. And if you do that, only that particular copied array will be edited, but not the original array. Okay, so this was how you do indexing and selection on single dimensional array, on this case vector. Okay, then we went to 2D selection and indexing of 2D arrays or matrices. In this case, where we imported NumPy as NP. I created the two-dimensional array in this case and I printed that. Now if I want to select a single digit from that, I will again use either double bracket format or comma single bracket format. In double bracket format, you just give two double brackets and inside that you guys write rows and columns. This is how you access the double bracket format. If you want to do it with comma single bracket format, in the single bracket only separated by comma, you will write rows and columns. Okay. This is how you do it, guys. Then if you are saying grabbing some matrices from matrix, that if you want to grab a chunk of that particular matrix, how you will do? You will say ARR of 2D. I have just printed that first and I wanted to take out the chunk of this two things. Okay. So separated by the comma only, you will use single comma single bracket format, and using that you will say the rows indexes slice, and then you'll say column indexes slice. So basically start from 0, go to 2. So it will first select these two rows and then you will say from 1 to go till last. So 1 to go till last, and it would have taken the chunk like this. You can actually prove that by first taking the uh, colon 2 and it would print this, and then when you say this, it would take out the chunk from that particular main multidimensional array or in the 2D matrix. Okay, guys, another example we saw like this. We pass the slices of the rows and then we pass the slice of the column, and you got this. So practice this more. And the most important thing at the last we have understood about that was conditional selection. In this case, we created an array and we passed another array. Inside that, we passed a condition in this, which gave us a conditional array like this. But in this case, you could have done like in this one line only by just saying ARR of ARR on and passing the condition into it. So ARR was already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You compared it with 5 and you got the particular array. So this is how your conditional formatting work or conditional selection works. I hope this is very much clear, guys. Now, I would like to give you one practice program. So I'm just gonna say practice program. Okay. Let's say I am creating a new 2D array. Let's say I said ARR of 2D. In this case, I am gonna create a new two-dimensional array using arrange function, I am saying. So you can say actually do this np.arrange, and I want 50 numbers into it. I said dot reshape, and in the last lecture we learned about this reshape method, guys, and I said 5 comma 10. So in the last class I have told you about this 5 into 10, that is 50. 50 is matching with this number. That means reshaping of this matrix of 50 numbers are possible. So if you run this code and if you print now array of 2D, it would give you a nice beautiful array like this. I hope this is very much clear, guys. Now your homework would be try to take out some random chunks out of this particular matrix. Say suppose you want to take out 32, 33, 42, 43, kind of like that. Or you want to take out the chunk from 15, 16, 25, 26, or you want to take out a chunk of the 28, 29, 38, 39. So try that, guys, on your own. And that's all about this video, guys. I hope you have liked this video. Well, if you have any doubts into this video, tell us in the comment section below. I'm going to clear all your doubts. And this is all about this video, guys. That's all for it. If you like this video, tell us in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel Coders Arcade. Don't forget to press the bell icon as well so that you won't miss any future updates. So that's all about this video, guys. I hope you have liked this video. This is Ashang David signing off. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, happy learning.